Hey everybody, welcome back to another few minutes here with Mark. I appreciate you being here. Hope that everything in your world is finding you quite well today. God bless you. Before I get started, I'd like you to scroll down to the bottom of this video and hit the like button. Share it with some of your friends, family, relatives, anybody who's a Christian male that you think might benefit from hearing this message. And send it with some love in your heart. Listen, we're going to finish up this week. We've been talking about slavery. And we've been talking about being stuck in addiction, and we've been talking about being stuck in a job, you know, like you feel like you're a slave. It's a master-slave relationship in jobs. So I'm going to continue on in the Gospel of John, and I'm going to finish up by rereading today verse 12, and I'm going to carry it on through verse 17. Okay? And I'm going to make my comments to close up this week-long training on servant leadership, about being a man, be real, be strong, be not afraid, and also about how to avoid slavery and finding yourself beholden and subject to addiction. This is my command. This is Jesus talking. Verse 12. This is my commandment. Love one another as I love you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends, and if you do what I command you. I no longer call you slaves, because a slave does not know what his master is doing. I have called you friends, because I've told you everything I have heard from my Father. It was not you who chose me, but I who chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit that will remain, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you. This I command you, love one another. Okay, that's 2 minutes worth right there. Here's the final summation. We talked about slavery, we talked about avoiding it, we talked about how to not be subject to it, beholden to it. We talked about how to lay down your life and role modeling this week. We talked about how to step up and be a man and model and emulate for your children so that your daughter would pick somebody to marry who has some characteristics and attributes that you want her to have in a husband, and also for your sons to be able to emulate and follow. Today, the key words here, I no longer call you slaves. Okay, you've been given all the information this week. You've been given the scriptural background. You've been given the conversational encouragement from me about how not to be a slave to your passions, a slave to your habits, a slave to your job, a slave to any kind of addictions that you might have, whether it's, you know, the serious kind of addiction or addicted to sports or addicted to something else that might take your time, energy, and resources away from living your true calling as priest, prophet, king, warrior, friend, mentor in the world. So, I'd like to share a little story with you from my own life now as I close up this week's worth of teaching. You are no longer a slave. I am no longer a slave. What we are is we're the beloved sons and daughters of the Most High God. What God did was give us his son Jesus and said clearly, whatever you ask of me, whatever you ask to God through me, I will give you. So that's Jesus telling us that we should ask him. You pray to God in the name of Jesus. And then I want to throw in one thing that I didn't talk about too much this week, and that's Mary, the Virgin Mary, the Mother of God. That's what we Catholics call her, the Mother of Jesus, who is God. When I think about Mary, I think about the role model she played. Dutiful wife, dutiful mother, dutiful Jew, dutiful in every way. And that how she became accepted by all the apostles when Jesus was gone, because Jesus said on the cross, behold your mother. Take her into your homes. Care for her. Love her as she loves you. Men, we all have some kind of mother in our lives, or had. Maybe your mother's passed like mine. We've all had a wife or some close relationship. Hopefully you're still married. And you can see that motherly instinct. We need to be men of faith. We need to be men called to honor and cherish our mothers in our lives. And a lot of times that's our wives. And our wives may not like having to mother us, but we cling to that image. We cling to that affection. We cling to that care. But let's not forget that a prayer to the Virgin Mary